What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Crusader, and I hate that I'm once again starting another video off like this, but I know I've been away from my YouTube for a while, but life has been continuously hectic for me. I recently moved back to New York to live with my parents, and I'm currently in an ongoing battle with my current ISP on fixing my horribly fluctuating upload speeds and my random network outages. Thanks a lot, Optimum. You guys have cost me a lot when it comes to content creation. But I'm not here to talk about my recent life changes, nor do I think most of you care. You're obviously here because of the title of this video, and I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard the news that Borderlands 3 is set to be an Epic Games launcher exclusive. Borderlands 3 was announced on March 28th during the weekend of PAX East, and during this same conference, Gearbox told fans that they could expect more information on April 3rd. And as of today, April 3rd, which is when I'm making this video, not only was the box art for Borderlands 3 revealed, but the release date was also confirmed for September 13th of 2019, and it was confirmed that Borderlands 3 would be exclusive to the Epic Games launcher until April 2020, that being when it would be available for purchase and download on the Steam launcher. This of course has brought up a lot of controversy, for Epic already has a bad track record as a PC game launcher. A rage fan threads immediately started spewing over Twitter and Reddit. Fans are so angered that some of them are saying that they refuse to support Gearbox and 2K, are even openly admitting that they are planning to pirate Borderlands 3 once it's launched. Now, I took to Twitter myself and asked all my followers and their followers, to whom my original tweet potentially reached out to, what their true issues and concerns were with Borderlands 3 being a timed exclusive on the Epic Games launcher. And the general consensus was the lack of security and privacy evasion with the Epic Games launcher. Now, I'm here making this video to provide some facts about the Epic Games launcher, which will hopefully in turn put some people's mind at ease, and afterwards I will provide my own personal opinion and rebuttal near the end of this video, and all the sources that I use will be provided in the description of the video. I am not, however, defending any wrongdoings by Epic Games, and I am totally not using this as an opportunity to tell people to use code Crusader at checkout when pre-ordering Borderlands 3 on the Epic launcher, because then what type of person would I be? So let's start off with the Epic Games security and privacy, which is where a lot of fans' concerns stems from. Those concerns come from two major situations with Epic. The first being the mass account hacking of Fortnite accounts, and the second being the accusation of user information and data being sold to Chinese companies. Let's talk about the Fortnite hacking situation first. Now, as far as I can find and I can remember, back in September 2018, where players' accounts were being hacked and the volume of reports coming in about players' accounts being compromised rapidly increased as time went on, there was even a post on the Epic Games forums that over 9 million accounts were hacked, but I don't know the authenticity of that claim. There was quite some time that went by of radio silence from Epic Games. I even had some personal friends tell me that they had no luck with getting in contact with Epic to resolve this issue. But it wasn't until November 2018 that a software technology security team known as Checkpoint had discovered the vulnerabilities within Epic Games that was allowing hackers to compromise players' accounts. It was discovered that hackers were compromising players' accounts through an unsecure URL on Epic Games' website. Should any player unfortunately visit this URL, their account would be instantly compromised. This is also during the time period when the only game that was really worth playing on the Epic launcher was Fortnite, which allowed for account linking. So by proxy, players who had their Xbox and or PS4 accounts linked to their account was also compromised. Hackers took advantage of players' V-Bucks, Fortnite's premium currency, and any payment information linked to their accounts such as PayPal or credit card information. Once the vulnerability was identified and brought to Epic Games' attention, the unsecure URL was brought down by Epic Games and continued to work with Checkpoint to patch up any other vulnerabilities within Epic Games. A spokesperson from Epic Games went on to say, "We were made aware of the vulnerabilities and they were soon addressed. We thank Checkpoint for bringing this to our attention. As always, we encourage players to protect their accounts by not reusing passwords and using strong passwords, and not sharing account information with others." Now, the next controversial situation that arose with Epic Games was that Epic Games launcher was accessing personal information and running processes without the user's knowledge, and that information was being sent back to Epic Games, and then being sold to the Chinese government. Now, I don't have the most experience around software engineering, so I will not even attempt to go into the sophistications on how Epic Games launcher was accessing these files and running these processes. But the general gist of the situation is that Epic Games launcher was making attempts to access DLL files and root certificates without the user knowing. The launcher was also accessing Steam files without permission from the user. Daniel Vogel, VP of Engineering at Epic, stepped in to clear the air a little bit. Vogel confirmed that Epic Games Launcher was using a tracking system, or the more technical term for it would be tracking.js, to pay Epic supporter creator users. Vogel also added that this system is used to track statistics within the supported creator program, but here is where things go back to being sketchy. Vogel went on to add that Epic Games Launcher makes an encrypted local copy of your local config.vdf file, which is on Steam. That file information is only shared with Epic should you choose to import your Steam friends list to the Epic Games Launcher. Vogel said that only the hashed IDs of your friends are sent to Epic should you import your friends from Steam, and no other information is shared. A spokesperson from Valve stepped in and said that the Steam client locally saves data such as the list of games you own, your friends list, and saved login tokens, similar to the information stored in a web browser cookies. This is private user data stored on the user's home machine and is not intended to be used by other programs or uploaded to any third-party service. To move on to the whole information being sold to the Chinese government thing, that accusation is actually being held against the Chinese investment holding conglomerate known as Tencent, which owns 40% of Epic Games. This accusation comes from Tencent's free-to-play game known as Ring of Elysium. It's a battle royale game. Some players' reviews of the game on Steam claim that the game contained malware and spyware, specifically being a keylogger and a crypto miner. Once again, I am not the most experienced when it comes to software development and or engineering, nor am I too familiar with network engineering or any form of network manipulation. However, YouTuber SIDALPHA has two very detailed videos discussing this situation with Tencent and the claims against them with their game having a keylogger and being a crypto miner. I heavily recommend you guys to go check out SIDALPHA's video where he proves that these claims are false. Links to his two videos will be in the description below, but the summary of those two videos basically shows that when ran through several virus scanners and monitoring his network traffic, SIDALPHA found no abnormalities except for one file returning as a false positive. Tencent Games eventually took to Steam and responded to the matter, assuring players that the private information was safe and not being shared with anyone at Tencent. They also responded to specifically the one abnormal file that SIDALPHA found, confirming that this was a false positive. And to wrap up this part of this accusation, a lot of the information being sold to the Chinese government that people are claiming really only comes from the fact that Tencent is honestly just a Chinese corporation that's damn near the size of Microsoft. Now, with all that information, am I saying that Epic Games is without fault here? No, of course not. I do not agree that their launcher, or any software for that matter, should be running processes or accessing any information without my permission. But what I'm saying is that regardless of your frustrations with Epic Games, no one should be stooping to the level of piracy, let alone telling the developers to their face that you're planning to pirate a game hundreds of people put their blood, sweat, and tears into. These same people with families to feed and bills that they need to pay. I know this is much easier for me to say because my account was never compromised on the Epic Games Launcher. However, I want to remind everyone that this decision to make Borderlands 3 a timed exclusive was more than likely a decision made by 2K Games rather than Gearbox themselves. Also, Randy Pitchford, CEO and founder of Gearbox Studios, showed interest in the Epic Games Launcher and possibly working with them back in December 2018, months well into the whole hacking fiasco with Fortnite. This is just my guess, but this is something Randy could have fully been aware of, but still had confidence in working with Epic Games. But like I said, I don't think this is all something worth pirating a game over, and I simply don't think that someone's pride should get in the way of experiencing something as amazing as Borderlands 3. I mean, this is something that we've been waiting for years. And I use the term pride because when asking my Twitter followers why they had issues with Borderlands 3 being on the Epic Launcher, I was linked to this image. On this image, it shows a comparison of features that are available on Steam but are clearly not on the Epic Launcher. I should add that I was sent different variations of this image. Some were even outdated with features that are now available on Epic Launcher, but they all pretty much serve the same purpose of showing that Steam is the superior platform. Steam having all these features over Epic is cool and all, but ask yourself, how many of those features do you really care about, and how many of them are you actually taking advantage of? Things like the broadcasting feature, the screenshot capture feature, the VR support feature, and the wish list are all things that I've never or rarely ever utilized, and has never affected my gaming experiences over Steam. Features such as the two-factor authentication and offline mode are actually available on the Epic launcher as of today, April 3rd, 2019, contrary to what this list of features says. And in the end, these list of features are full of other trivial features that Steam has that the average Steam user hardly utilizes, such as the trading cards, or the library sorting, and the groups feature. Having things like user reviews and having the ability to view player profiles are great quality of life features, but I fail to see the impact it would have on your gaming experience. Now, I don't disagree with you all. I truly believe that Steam is a superior launcher, but I don't discredit what Epic is trying to do. They are trying to make this platform a better and safer place for gamers to enjoy and rely on. Another thing you guys have to remember is that Epic just recently started their storefront for people to buy games and developers to add games to it, and from a business standpoint, to help grow something that's new and needs the help growing, buying exclusivity rights for big games such as Borderlands, it's not very surprising. There's still so much development and time and things that just need to go into the Epic launcher, and I personally have faith that the Epic launcher will continue to grow and improve. At the end of the day, it's just video games, and there's nothing stopping us from enjoying them. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, and please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think Epic Games can improve, or are they forever being a failure in everyone's eyes? This is my first time making a video like this that's delivering very controversial news, and my opinion may not be shared with a lot of other people, and I may be totally ripped a new one from everyone on a lot of social media platforms, but I feel pretty confident about this. So like I said, share your thoughts in the video. And before I close out, I want to let everybody who is using the Epic launcher to pre-order Borderlands 3 to consider using code Crusader at checkout. Also consider using when purchasing any other games you may be interested on the Epic store, as well as purchasing V-Bucks and anything from the Ida shop within Fortnite. My name is Crusader. Stay safe and have a good night.